friends, welcome to Chaotic Knitting. I'm doing my first knitting podcast today and I already have tons of stuff to show you guys. I've got a lot of works in progress. I got some finished projects and I also have some yarn acquisitions that I like to share with you guys. First, I'm going to show you my WIPs and I think I'm working on like 4 projects at the same time right now, which I think kind of illustrates the channel name well. So I'm not always making things easy for myself, which is like more a general theme in my life, but I've got a lot of things to show you also. So first of all, I'd like to show you this dress that I've been working on for quite some time already. I like to call this a very masochistic project because it's a full length dress knitted on 3mm needles. This is my main mindless knitting project, so it's like usually the one that I will take on commutes, just places where I'm passing the time. I really hope that at one point I'm actually going to finish this one, but it's kind of hard finishing these kinds of really fine needle projects that cover a lot of fabric when you're also working on multiple projects at the same time. So we'll see what happens. It would be really great if I could wear this one when it's still warm, but that remains to be seen. So I'm going to show you what I've done so far. It's very messy up in here, but I wanted to wait to weave in the ends of the I-cord straps until the end because when the dress is finished, it's going to be much heavier. I tried this on already as is, but when the dress is finished, it's going to be much heavier, which might pull on the I-cord straps and lengthen them more. So I might need to go back and adjust the length of the I-cord straps. And I've had this happen in the past before that, when I already weaved in my ends and then I had to adjust things, and it's really difficult sometimes to find where the ends are and loosen it up again. I knitted like this sweater once, and I thought I was loosening a weaved-in end, but it was actually like just a thread in the fabric. So I ended up like making a hole in the sweater, which was a pain to fix and still kind of visible a little bit. So from that process, I learned that it's safer to wait until the absolute end to weave in the ends, although it's looking quite messy right now. But so I really love this design. This is a free pattern from Hobby. It's called the Brisa dress. It's knit in 3mm needles, and I used the yarn that they recommended on the side. It's Go Handmade Stencil Bamboo in Fine in the color Bordeaux. And it's like a super comfy summery material. It's very light, very soft. It's okay to knit with. The yarn, it feels quite comfortable in your hands, but it's like a yarn that splits very easily. So I'm very often splitting the yarn while knitting. So, but it's a nice material to work with, and I've gotten quite far, but there is still a long way to go because the whole body's length is 1 meter, which is a lot in 3mm needles. So let's see how this goes. I'm not working super much on it at the moment because I'm more focusing on the other projects. I'm at the point where it's just really like doing some increases, but mostly just knitting in the round, so it's not the most challenging project. I'm hoping to get some WIPs of the needles in the next weeks, so it's going to be a bit easier to make progress on the projects that I'm currently working on. So this is the first WIP. It's the Brisa dress from Hobby, which is a free pattern. So if you want to try also hurting yourself by starting this pattern, then it's available for free on Hobby's site. The second thing that I want to show you guys is Camisole number 3 from My Favorite Things Knitwear. This is a camisole in a brioche stitch, which was the first time that I did brioche, so it was nice to learn something new. It was a bit scary in the beginning because I had to frog it a couple of times, and frogging brioche in the beginning is very daunting because I didn't understand the engineering of the stitch before, but now I kind of do. I feel not completely, it's still a bit complicated, but I'm comfortable with frogging it now, which I'm very happy about. There's still a lifeline in here at the moment. I really enjoy this nice detailing that's going on in the front with the increases and decreases. This is knit in Lana Grossa's Seta yarn in the color light beige. It's, I think, a merino polyamide silk blend. I think it's superwash also, which is really nice because I'm acquiring more and more finished objects that I have to wash by hand, and I've noticed that it's at some point it's like I don't have the energy for it anymore. So like the pile of sweaters that need to be washed is growing and nothing much is happening about that. So yeah. But I'm really happy with the progress on this one. I started this one I think 2 weeks ago, and I think it might be done in a week. We'll see. I need to make I think like 10 centimeters more on the body and then do all the finishing. But I really like the look of this one. I'm really excited for it to be done. Would like to get some wear out of this one soon. Yeah, it's a really fun project too. I really like the brioche stitch. It's, especially once you get used to it, it's nice to have some variation in the types of stitches that you do. I also knit both English and continental style because I've had a wrist injury in the past, and I think having some variation in knitting styles is probably better for my wrist. So when I'm learning something new like this one in brioche, I'm gonna use more English style because I'm more familiar with that style of knitting. The Brisa dress is just stockinette in the round knitting continental style, and it's going pretty well. So yeah, this is the second work in progress. The third work in progress that I want to talk to you guys about today, it's a very V-neck sweater from Jessie Made Designs. I recently discovered this designer after I think hearing about her from High Fiber Knits. I think she just makes the most interesting patterns, and I also really like the focus on diversity and inclusivity on her site. So really excited to knit up some of her patterns. This is the first one, but I've got some more projects in mind that I would like to start on soon. You're already hearing that I'm gonna have trouble with having less than 4 WIPs going at the same time, but oh well. It's still like on the yoke part. I'm taking a little break here. Oh, I dropped some stitches. I'm gonna put those back on. I'm pausing a little bit because I'm trying to get the camisole number 3 done. So this one is also something that I'm focusing a bit less on at the moment, but we'll probably pick up very soon again. This is knit in Rowan's Creative Linen in the color Apple. It's a really nice yarn, and I'm hoping to make this kind of summery sweater with it. The material feels very light and airy, so I think it might be nice for more warm days, but where you do want to have like a sweater that covers a bit more, that protects you a bit more, but it's not super warm. So more like going to fall probably. I really like this color. It's a super pretty green. Also a really fun project. Also learned some new things. It's always so cool how you keep learning new things with almost every pattern. I'm really excited about that. So yeah, this is the third WIP. And then, yeah, this guy, this guy is, I don't know, I have this pattern, it breaks me. It just breaks me, my God. This is the last WIP that I'm working on. It's sweater number 5 from My Favorite Things Knitwear. I've actually made this one once before, and I remembered that it was so difficult. By the time that I made this sweater for the first time, I had already knit several sweaters and cardigans, so I felt like I kind of was relatively experienced in knitting. But this pattern, it just broke me. So yeah, it's so complicated. To me, it is so complicated. It's painful. Honestly, it's painful, but also this sweater is so beautiful. I think it's the project that I've gotten the most compliments about. I'm actually making this one for a friend that really liked this sweater. She wanted to learn how to do it herself, but she has never knit a sweater before. And this is not a good beginner pattern. I think I can say that I would not recommend this unless you already have had a lot of experience, because there is a lot of quite advanced techniques that you all have to do at the same time in this one. And it just like kind of fries your brain. So yeah, but I think it's worth it though. Yeah. So this one is knit in Holst Garn's Cielo in Sparrow. I learned about Holst Garn from High Fiber Knits. They're have like a quite affordable, I feel like this is a quite affordable yarn, and it's a baby alpaca merino mix. It's super soft and it's in the color Sparrow, which is, yeah, it's a super beautiful color. So not much has been done. I have started on the yoke 2 times already and I've had to frog it, but I feel like I have gotten back into it now. Yeah, after having already made the sweater before, but it stays really challenging. So yeah, I'll show you the sweater number 5 that I've previously made. So it's a really beautiful sweater. I don't remember which yarn I used for this. It's yarn that I bought on a trip to Norway, and I didn't keep the tags. But I think it's an alpaca. It's really soft. Yeah, also in this like nice Bordeaux color. There's like a little bit of paler threads shining through, so it gives it a kind of nice it's like kind of a nice different toned color. So I really love this sweater and I've gotten a lot of compliments about it. There is some mistakes in there, but honestly, I didn't have the heart to frog this, because I would have had to frog it up to the collar, because it's so complicated. I wouldn't have been able to frog it halfway in the yoke and then start again. So I was just like, okay, I'm the only one who's going to see this mistake. It's fine. We're not going to do this to ourselves. So yeah, those were my current works in progress, and I'll show you now the finished projects of the last weeks. First of all, I finally finished my balloon sweater from Petite Knit, and I'm very happy about it. I started this sweater I think like 6 months ago, but I had a wrist injury and had surgery for it, so I had to stop knitting for a while. This was also a yarn that kind of strained my wrists more, because I knitted it in a combination of brushed mohair and merino, and the merino yarn was really stretchy, which I feel strain my wrists a little bit more. So this sweater I knit with a combination of Lang Merino yarn in off-white and also brushed mohair from Varbit's Garn, which is a hand dyeing yarn store in Oslo. I bought the yarn there. I looked on their website, but I don't think this color is available anymore. I think there was written on the tag, I think this color was called Strassel. Not entirely sure if that's correct, but I looked on their site and I couldn't find this color anymore. So the speckles in this sweater, they're from the mohair. The merino base yarn is just in this off-white color. And I really like this combination. I feel with variegated yarns, if my main strand of yarn is variegated, it's really intense often in color. And I really love this combination of a variegated mohair knitted together with a merino yarn that's in the same color. Another finished project this month is Spectacle Strix Wrap and Go blouse, which I really, really love, but I heard some other knitters say this. I think it was Tiffany Liu, I'm sorry if I pronounced that name wrong, that also knitted in two strands of mohair, and it's beautiful, but it's incredibly warm. So yeah, I first thought I could just wear it like this as a wrap top, but it's too hot for that. So I think it's gonna be more of like a winter garment, and I think I would wear like a black long sleeve tee underneath it. I think that would be really nice, and then you have some extra warmth from the wrap top. But by itself, it's too warm, and also the mohair is relatively soft. It's Lana Grossa's mohair, I think. I didn't write it down, but I'll edit it on which one it is. It's really beautiful and it's relatively soft, but I'm a bit more of a sensitive person when it comes to yarn on skin, and this one is already a little bit too itchy for me and would already make me wear it less. So I think the solution is just to find preferably a high-collared, long-sleeved black t-shirt, and then I would wear it in the winter. But I'm really happy with this one. It was a really nice pattern to make. Also, learn a new type of construction for a top, which is also always very nice. So I'm very happy that I got to finish this one as well. Then I have quite some yarn acquisitions, some of which I already mentioned in the works in progress. I kind of made a promise to myself to not buy any yarn for the moment because I'm going on a trip to Scotland in August, and I was thinking, oh yeah, there are sheep in Scotland. They probably have nice yarn there. This is like my type of reasoning. So I was already looking up like knitting stores in Scotland. This is kind of like, nowadays, this is like why I travel. It's first of all, nice food, and second of all, knitting stores. So I already like looked up some nice knitting stores in Scotland that I'd like to go to. So I kind of made a promise to myself to not buy any more yarn until I go on that trip, because last year I went with a friend to Norway, which is like, it's a knitting heaven there, but I spent an insane amount of money on yarn. And I'm thinking I would like to be able to buy a lot of yarn again on this trip. but I need to be a little bit sensible and then maybe take a break in making purchases beforehand. But I failed, so yeah. First of all, I have this baby alpaca merino blend from Holst Garn. I'm really excited about this one. It's in the color Sparrow and it's a really beautiful color. It's incredibly soft. It smells amazing. Do you guys also like love the smell of like these natural fiber yarns so much? I always joke like that they smell like the best possible alpaca, but is that weird? Probably. So yeah, but this is a beautiful color. It's like a gray brown color, and yeah, it's 42% alpaca, 42% fine merino wool, and 60% polyamide. So yeah, really happy about this one and making the cursed sweater number 5 with it. So wish me luck. Do you guys also have these patterns that you really struggled with that like brought you to tears? I'd like to hear about that because sweater number 5 is definitely the one for me. I think also the real reason why I failed with not buying yarn is that I was walking through the city center a week ago and I saw that Veritas, which is a Belgian crafts chain store, had a big sale in which you buy 4 skeins of yarn and you get one for free. And I remember that I went there recently and they had quite an assortment of Rowan yarn, which I've wanted to work with for a while, but it's a really expensive yarn, so I made myself wait with the promise that I made to myself in the back of my mind of not buying any more yarn. But then fate was against me and Veritas did a sale. I'm normally not such a fan of Veritas. I know that Bethany from Well Loved Knits also mentioned this once because she also lives in Belgium. They don't have like the nicest assortment of yarn, which is unfortunate because I think it's like one of the most prevalent craft stores in Belgium, but they did have Rowan yarn, so yeah, I was really excited to try those, and I ended up buying yarn for 4 future projects, which I'm really excited about. So the first one that I want to show you is yarn that I also showed you in my works in progress. It's the creative linen yarn that I'm making the very v-neck sweater with. This is 50% linen, 50% cotton blend. Yeah, it feels really soft and airy. I think it's going to be really nice to wear. And the color is apple, which is a really lovely shade of green. Then the second one that I bought is this Rowan's Soft Yak DK weight yarn. It's in the color jaune. It's really soft and it's a really cool color. I've never seen something like this before. It's like a yellow with like some gray, greenish tones in it. I'm planning to make either the outline tank or the outline tee from Jessie May Designs with this one. I think it's going to be super cool, but making myself wait because I already have 4 works in progress. So looking forward to starting this one. Then I also got a couple skeins of this cotton cashmere yarn. It's in the color Sea Spray. It's a really beautiful green gray, like a muted green gray tone. And it's 85% cotton and 50% cashmere. I think also really lovely fiber for making summer knits with. I think that with this one, I'm going to make either camisole number 4 or 5 from my favorite things knitwear. Another like nice summer knits project that I'm planning to start on. It's like already July. I don't know honestly how many I'm still going to be able to finish this summer, but Also really excited about being able to start this one. So I'm knitting a lot currently. So yeah, this is a really beautiful, very soft yarn. And then finally, I also got Rowan's Summer Light 4-ply yarn. It's in the colorway Pepper Pot, which is a super cute name. Yeah, this is a very nice, very squishy, as they say, cotton yarn. It's a beautiful color. It's like, I would say a gray with a little bit of a green undertone. I think seems like it's a fingering weight. It's for needle size 3 mm. And with this one, I want to make knitting for Olive's olive top, which I've had on my project list for a long time. I think it's going to be super beautiful in this kind of gray color. So another summer knits plan with this one. That's all that I have to show you guys today for this video podcast. Let me know in the comments what you thought about it and what you'd like to see next. And I hope you have a wonderful day, and I see you next time. Bye.